Hey everybody, it's Dr. Quinn. I want to go over this week's assignments coming up, and so I'm going to show you where in the syllabus you can find those due dates, but I will also include the due dates in the announcement, and then we're going to go over the assignments that are coming up themselves. And so when you scroll on the, you just click on the syllabus and scroll down, you'll see this pacing schedule. And in the pacing schedule, you're going to see that we're coming up on week 4. So we're finishing module 2 and starting module 3, okay, because we only have, I think, 5 distinct modules this semester. And so you've got 4 assignments this week. You've got 1 Tuesday, 1 Wednesday, and 2 Sunday. Okay, so you've been working on the draft of your narrative essay. You've already gotten feedback from me. You can find that right in the assignment where you post the draft. And by Sunday, you should have gotten feedback from your peers, from your class, right? So working amongst all of that feedback should help you between today and Tuesday night submit your narrative essay final, okay? Then the next day, you're going to do a recording and responses in relation to that. And I'll show you what that is in just a minute. Then on Sunday, so now you're building toward brainstorming an analysis essay, but now we've just shifted into self-check biases in real life and analyzing media bias. So we're separating our biases from the bias of the media that we listen to, we watch, etc. So let's take a look at the end of Module 2 and the beginning of Module 3. So we're going to go right in there. The end of Module 2, you've got these 2 assignments. See June 9 and June 10. Pay close attention to that. Put those alerts, those day alerts in your phone or on your day planner, or whatever works for you. Okay, so here's the final draft. Again, you submitted a draft last week, and I made sure that everybody had feedback by Saturday morning, just so you had a couple of days to work on this. And this was a non-research narrative, and so you probably don't need as much time as you would for an analysis essay, and that's why the turnaround is much quicker. And you're in a condensed 12-week class. Normally, our class lengths are usually 15 weeks. Remember, that's like a week less per paper. So keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, the purpose of the narrative is to revise, the narrative essay final is to revise your previous work. We're identifying our biases. Generally speaking, this is harder to do when you admit that you have biases toward another group of people. Some students choose to talk about their biases against themselves, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes that feels a lot like when somebody does a job interview and they say, I just work too hard. You know what I mean? It's not as challenging. It's not as complex, but it will work for the assignment. But there's a level of sophistication in acknowledging our own biases and addressing them through this assignment. And what that suggests is that thinking about biases in relation to others is key. Because when we start to do the media analysis, we'll be looking at how do we form those biases against other groups or other people that are different than us. So keep that in the back of your mind. Again, it doesn't mean you can't write about your own personal biases, about yourself, but it does feel like that's less introspective than it would be really acknowledging, how we feel about the broader world around us. Okay, you're attending to audience and tone and the language that you use. You're working on clarity at the sentence level. I've given everybody feedback about clarity at the sentence level in that initial draft feedback. And if you want to talk to me about this, Monday or Tuesday are the days to work with me on this if you want additional final feedback before you submit this. Review the feedback you've received. Determine what is appropriate. You do not have to accept every bit of feedback, but keep going. Your final draft should be about 750 words. If it's a lot longer, if it's 1,300 words, you need to cut it down. Anything under 1,000, I'll be fine with, but just keep that in the back of your mind. You have to show that you can edit and you can trim, that sometimes there is only X amount of space or time for people to work within your text. If it's too long, it may be a TLDR. They too long didn't read. So keep that in the back of your mind. For your essay, you're going to, remember, you did the format quiz and you got feedback on me if you didn't get 100 on that. So you have feedback there too. There's MLA basics as well, and you can also work with one of our tutoring centers. And just so you know, I'm less familiar with this new brand of 24/7 tutoring. It's not that you can't use it. I'm more familiar with the tutors in the tutoring center on the campuses who can also do some remote tutoring. So that would be my recommendation. And note, you've got to submit your document as a Word document. I'm not accepting PDFs. I'm not accepting Google Docs. Because when I demo formatting help and support, I'm not going to be doing that on different forms of software. And I also find that the grammar and spell checker is the best in Microsoft Word. So that's why I require that. If you are in a Google Docs, let me show you what it looks like to just do a very quick switch over from Google Docs into Word. So in one of my other NOL classes, I've got this Google Doc for my students where they can share it. They can make a copy of it. They can fill out. It's like a template. It's like a little activity. When you want to save it as a Word doc, so if you're in Google Docs, any file, you can just go to download and you save it as a Microsoft Word file, and that's what you attach. If you want to know how to go from Pages to Word, there's converters, and you can also save as. Let's see, how do I do it? Directly within it, open the Pages, click File, Export to Word. So it should be straightforward, and there shouldn't be any stress on you on how to do that. Remember, essay instructions have frames. The intro and conclusion are the frame. It's like a picture frame, and it holds the picture inside of it. The body is that picture. You're writing multiple body paragraphs, and you are explaining to readers the stakes, the change, and the theme in relation to that internalized bias that you've got. And you'll be doing MLA paper formatting. You'll note this is out of 80 points, and it will only accept doc and docx files, and then you upload your document. Okay, so that's that first major assignment. Now, the recording and responses. This is an interesting one. The purpose of doing this narrative, let me make this font bigger so you can see it, is to engage with your peers in sharing your narratives. Think about how the personal biases affect how you see and interact in the world, right? That's what I was trying to explain on the main assignment. You will learn to identify biases in thought or action, practice storytelling elements, attend to audience, and work on creating an engaging recording. So the paper that you submit is due Tuesday, and you will submit the recording on Wednesday. Of course, you can submit earlier if you want to. Use Canvas's screen capture video, or you can upload like an MP4 file, a WAV file. That's fine. But when you post this, you just need to make sure that it's accessible. Once it's posted, click in and double check that it will open. Okay, you will post a recording of your narrative essay. So you're going to read your essay and post it. Okay? I don't care about stuttering. I stutter. I mean, listen to me in this recording. I don't care if using the studio recording software, the software's called ScreenPal, and say you have a coughing fit in the middle of it. That's okay. You can pause and then re-record. Keep going. When you do this, you're also going to respond to two peers. So you're going to listen to their recording and respond to that. 100 words per response. You can respond with audio as well. I know it says text here, but you can respond with audio. I'm looking at 10 points for your recording and 10 points for 2 peer responses. I'll be listening for the whole recording. Often I listen to those recordings as I'm grading your actual paper. Keep that in the back of your mind as well. So that's the major assignments that are due to finish off Module 2. Now, let's take a look at how we're going to warm ourselves up and start later in the second half of the week for Module 3. So when we move in, let's see. You've got the Module 3 overview, and then you've got just that's overview for the entire module, and this is the overview for the assignment itself. Then you've got the knowledge check, self-check, bias in real life. So if we take a look at the syllabus, you can see here for week 4, all you're doing is a self-check, bias in real life, and the social annotation, analyzing media bias that's gradable. So let's find that in the module. Here is the gradable assignment, analyzing media bias, social annotation. And what I'm actually going to do is drag it to the top just so you can kind of see it in the order of things that appear, just to make this a little bit easier to follow. Okay, so again, for the last half of the week, take a look at the overview and the assignment itself. And this is ungraded, but you just want to sort of, this is just homework. It helps you get your feet wet. So let's take a look at the overview itself. In the previous module, by Tuesday night, you're writing a narrative essay on a personal experience and how you might have changed or transformed by the experience. It's personal in nature, and you're organizing it chronologically, like past to present. Next, we're exploring how personal beliefs show up in media and we will develop an academic analysis essay, how we can identify bias in journalism, in news articles. So that's what we're going to work on. You can click here and take a look at those learning materials. The objectives of the class are analyzing these articles. So we're going to practice analyzing articles, expanding on brainstorming, looking at genre, audience, and tone. You'll build an organizer and a draft, and you'll reflect, of course, on the process like we do with most major assignments. And you can see those assignments are here, spread out, not just at the end of this week. We're just sort of starting. Now, the essay itself, let's take just a couple minutes to go over this, and we'll go over it more as the week progresses. In this module, the overview says we'll shift our focus from narrative writing to academic writing about identifying bias in media. The major writing assignment is an analysis essay where you examine an article to recognize the obvious and subtle methods used by that organization or by that author to embed bias in news reporting, specific to news reporting, okay? So this is not going to be some random person's social media. We're talking about a news media outlet like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, or MS Now, okay? We're identifying different types of media bias. We're evaluating sources. You're writing an academic essay and integrating borrowing, like quoting and paraphrasing. So that's how we're upping the sophistication level. Narrative is all about, you don't have to do research. You're just data mining your own memories. But now you're doing outside research and responding to text in the world. We will look at the 60 types of media bias, so take a look at that. You also are writing to other students in the class, so that's your audience. I'm also your audience, so students and professor. You will not use first person or second person in this essay. That's a big shift from the personal narrative where you're talking about yourself and you're allowed to now you're talking about the text. You're not saying, I feel that the text does blank. You just say the text does blank, and you make the argument, you make it stick. Your paper is 2 to 3 words of an academic analysis essay. So it's about the same length, but you're only analyzing one text. It will have that framework like we did in the narrative. So this is how ideas of narrative and the practices within the narrative carry over. There will be an introduction. There will be body paragraphs. There will be a conclusion. It's not just a 5-paragraph essay. I actually just changed some of the phrasing here. I don't want you to think of this as a 5-paragraph essay. So there are multiple main body paragraphs based on those key terms within your thesis, reasons X, Y, and Z. Reason X may be a big one, and maybe reason X, you decide to write 2 paragraphs. And reasons Y and Z are smaller, so you write smaller sections there. Then, of course, you have a conclusion that restates your thesis in a thoughtful way and talks about, well, what's next? And of course, we're still working on MLA style. You've got the handbook, and in this announcement, I'm also going to put a link to Purdue OWL's MLA formatting. And of course, you have to create a works cited entry for your chosen article. And those things we'll practice this week. And in addition, I'll probably post some content helping you and showing you how to do that through the building of a works cited entry. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at the learning materials. And when you go into the learning materials for MLA, you can see samples of works cited, what's in it. So it's not just the videos that I create, but it's part of your reading materials where you have information, conducting research, incorporating research. How do you quote? How do you paraphrase? What type of text is this? All of this is built into the Module 3 learning materials. And you go to Module 3, you'll see All Sides website. You'll see even readings on audience and purpose, which we're focused on in the overview. Brainstorming, borrowing, and there's even a Smithsonian online exhibit on bias. So all of these materials are meant to help us. And again, if we go back into the syllabus, you'll see all you're doing this first week as far as Module 3 is concerned is orienting yourself by looking at the assignment overview, doing a non-graded assignment, and then doing this one social annotation. You've played with the social annotation software before, so I don't need to re-explain that for you. But you'll be practicing it, seeing what some of your classmates can do as well. So that's what's coming up this week. Reach out early if you have questions on your narrative, or reach out later in the week if you have questions on the analysis assignment. I look forward to seeing your work this week.